The Knittress, and this is my channel on the internet where I like to talk about yarn. You can find me on the internet as Andi The Knittress most places, also The Naughty Knittress on Instagram, Ravelry, as well as my website, thenaughtyknittress.com. It's been a minute since I've done this, so bear with me because I feel like I have a lot to show, so it might take a while. So, first off, what I'm wearing. This is a whip that you guys never got to see, and now it is an FO. This is the Ursa by Jacqueline Cieslack. I got this pattern gifted to me for my birthday from my friend Amy, and I cast it on immediately. It had been in my queue for a little while, and I don't think I realized that it was a bulky weight sweater because it basically knit itself. I think there were like 14 days worth of knitting on this sweater, and I just love it. It's a cute little cropped. I don't think you can really see. I'll pop in a picture where I'm standing up wearing it. This is knit in stone wool Corriedale in color rye. It took me about 5 skeins. I just love this. This is going to be so perfect for when it's a little warmer out. I can actually wear it in here because my store's a little bit chilly. You can probably hear the air running maybe. I don't know. Hopefully my microphone is keeping that noise down a little. But yeah, so this is an FO. It jumped in front of all of my other whips and I finished this. So I have a couple of other FOs behind me. So let's start with, this is an old FO. This is the Square Up Jacket. I think it is an Urth Yarns pattern. I did alter it just by changing the hook size and the yarn size. This is knit in Lionbrrand Shawl and a Cake, I think. This used to have a bottom band on it, and I found that when I wore it, I didn't like where it hit on my body. This hits kind of just above my hips now, which I like a lot better rather than down longer. I just was never happy with it. So now I don't sit on it when I sit down, which I like. So it's like an FO slash, I just fixed it. All I did was frog the bottom panel, and then I had to redo the border because you have to undo the border in order to frog the thing because the border was on at the end. So that is sort of an FO slash, I just fixed it a little bit. And then over here we have, this is the baby flax that I was working on last time. This is for a class I'm teaching, a summer-long sweater course. I just think it turned out super cute, and it's just a little shop sample. This is 0 to 6 months, and as you can see, I kind of squeezed it here. I mean, not squeezed too tight. It's got a little bit of play on this mannequin. So this is like a toddler size mannequin, so you could make a little baby flax in size newborn in the worsted weight with a loose gauge, and I think that kids could wear that through toddlerhood depending on your child. I know my kids were all super chunky babies, and then they got to be tall, skinny toddlers. I swear one of them was in size 2T until they were 5 years old. And so that is another FO. This is Cascade Yarn Anchor Bay. I don't remember the color name, but I just like it. And behind that we have this little weird wonky shrug. So fun story. I had a friend ask me if I could make some baby pants, and on my knitting machine. I have been playing with my flatbed knitting machine lately. It is a Passap Duomatic 80. It is very intimidating to me, But literally the day before she asked me if I could do that, she was thinking I could do it on my circular sock machine. I just, it's not really possible kind of what we were achieving. And so I was playing on my knitting machine and her asking me to see if I could do something like that on my flatbed kind of kicked me into gear to where I learned the ins and outs of my machine a little better. There's still a lot for me to learn about it, but yeah, so this was supposed to be baby pants. My gauge was clearly off. I will pop this off here and kind of show you. See, it was supposed to be a pair of baby pants, but my center panel was too big, and in addition to just the overall width and height, it kind of turned out silly. It makes a fun hat. Maybe I'll pop in a picture here. I put it on my head. It was like, okay, it can double as a hat, but actually I was showing it to somebody. They said it almost looks like a little shrug, and so I think I'm going to gift this to, there's a little 1-year-old in my life, and I'm going to gift it to her because her parents think that it's super cute. I will pop in a picture of the actual baby pants that I did finish. I did get it right, and if I can get a picture of them on the actual baby, I will also have that in here. But yeah, I was able to figure it out. So I was super happy that she asked me. Now this is all just scraps that I was using different ends of because I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of yarn. I was glad she asked me when she did because it made me kind of sit down and focus at that knitting machine to try and figure it out a little. So then, what else do I have as FO? I've got the baby flax, the baby pants, my Ursa. Oh, I have got some socks that I finished. I made a pair of socks out of Here in Colors Dyeworks Buttermint. This is just a standard hung hem sock I do on my sock machine. This is the standard size that I do if I am making socks to sell for like fairs or in the store or whatever. This is the basic style sock that I do. Let's see if I can not let it have a shadow. There we go. So there's that one, and then I love this one. Sometimes I like to play with my ribber and do a little extra fancy sock, and that is what I did here. This is if you wanted a sock like this made on my website, I think I call it the equal distance sock. So pretty much I try to make however long the foot is the same length of for the cuff. So obviously if you were size 6, and then the cuff may come down a little lower, but this is a women's size 10. This yarn is MadelineTosh. I think it was called Heart of Darkness. It's the Euro sock. It's a skein that I got one time when the Toshmobile was in town, and I just always thought they would make cute socks, and they do. I can't decide. I made it in my size, but also I have a couple of friends that are in this same size, and I don't know if I'm going to gift them or keep them. Tell me what you think. Should I go ahead and gift them, or should I keep them? I mean, I have a ton of socks myself, so this was also done on my Erlbacher Gearheart Speedster. I pretty much don't really like to knit socks by hand anymore, because if I'm going to hand knit, I would rather just knit on a sweater. And that's just right now in my life, that's how it is. That's probably going to change at some point in time. There was a time in my life when I said that I would never knit a sweater. So clearly things change. So I never say never. Okay, so the next FO I have is this cute little kitty, and I don't remember if I showed this to you. This was just a pattern I found on the internet. I think it was maybe a YouTube video. Maybe not, but I will link it below if I can find it. I just put some little like plastic pellets in here, and this little kitty just sits on my desk. I don't remember if I showed this to you guys or not. This is what happens when you film infrequently, is you have no idea whether or not you've shown something, because I don't keep very good notes all of the time. Literally, I just write down one-word notes. So I don't know. Anyway, this cute little kitty was just done out of some scrap yarn. I think that this is probably Lionbrrand cotton that I used to use to make market bags when I was doing all of the farmers markets and such. And just some little bits here and there. And it's just cute, and it brings a smile to my face. It sits up in the front next to Yarn Store Andi, which is a little crocheted version of me. And then the next thing that I finished is a fun little snail. And I gave this little snail a little collar. This is just a pipe cleaner and a pom-pom, essentially. It looks like a little dandelion. I knit all of these parts on my Erlbacher knitting machine. This is just a sock tube. This is literally just a sock tube, and it's just stuffed so that it's tapered here. It's tapered here, so I didn't put as much stuffing in this part so that I could sew it down. So this part is just a sock tube. And then this part is also just like a sock. So this is just a regular toe and then a tube. And then I went into a pointy toe. And so I have a little snail. And I just think it's cute. So this part here, at one point in time, was going to be a lollipop. When I used to work at Naughty Lady Yarns, we did really immaculate window displays because we had this big, huge picture window that had basically like a little stage in it, so we could set up really amazing window displays. If I can find any pictures of some of them, I will pop them in at the end. And we were going to do a Candyland window, but then we found out we were closing, so that had stopped. And I had made this, and it was going to be a lollipop. And I saw it in Scarlett's room one day when I was helping her straighten up her room. And I thought it was a snail shell. And I'm like, when did you get that? When was that made? And I realized it was just this part. And so that gave me the inspiration to turn it into a snail. And then these were just two little I-cords for the little antenna or eyeballs, or what have you. So that is another FO that I have finished. And I think that concludes my FOs. Everything else is a whip. And I really only have just a few whips right now. And one of them is tangled under my microphone cord. So hopefully we don't mess things up. Okay. So this is what I have been working on the most recently. Like recently as in the past week or so, this is what has gotten the most attention. This is the Unbearable sweater by, is it Maxim Sir? I think so. I think it's Maxim Sir. Nope, it's Le Garçon. Isn't that who that is? I always confuse them. Anyway, it is technically the Unbearable Hoodie. But clearly I have not done the bears. So it is worked up in stone wool American Delaine Merino. I will fiddle with that later. I don't need to do that right now. And I may have told you guys last time, I don't know, I can't remember, it got put in timeout for a while because it's too long. I feel like maybe I told you guys this, but you get to hear it again. Or maybe you're new and you have no idea what I'm talking about. So this is a way too long. I mean, these sleeves, you can see, these sleeves fit Bobby's arms just fine. Who needs, most sweaters are never longer than their sleeves. I listened to Bobby. He told me, I want my sweater to come to this point on my body, took that measurement, knit that much, and it really just looks like a dress on him. So I have to pull back. Probably the bottom blue stripe and the green stripe above it are going to come out, and I'm going to probably just do some sweater surgery so that I don't have to unpick this tubular bind off. And I'm just going to Kitchener the ribbing to right underneath here. I'm just going to take the ribbing and bring it to right here and Kitchener all the way around, and it should be fine. But before I decide that that's exactly where I want to do, I want to finish the hood and have him try it on so that I can see exactly how many inches need to be taken out. And then there will be a pocket applied to this as well, kind of in the similar style to the Montrealer. So like a little hoodie pocket. But right now I am working on the hood. So I'm just doing some back and forth. There's some shaping in the back of the hood here, and then there'll be some decreasing. But I don't think I'm going to get it done in time. He asked if I could have it done before his camping trip, which is in like 6 days. I don't know that that's going to happen unless I really like just hyper focus on it. By the time this episode goes up, I think is the weekend before he's camping on like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm planning to have this up next Friday. So maybe it's like 8 days to get it done. So we'll see. I don't know. I do have a job. And also, sometimes when things have to be done, I avoid them. Like if there's an actual deadline for it. I mean, it's not a hard and fast deadline. He's going camping, and here in the Pacific Northwest, in the evening, it gets chilly sometimes. So that is why he would like it to wear then. He's got lots of sweatshirts and everything that he could wear, but he really would love to have this. And so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it gets done. I don't know. So yeah, there's a lot of days in this. That's what all of my markers are. If you hear those jinglings, if you've been around, you kind of know. If you're new here, pretty much every day that I pick up and knit on any of my projects, I put in a progress keeper. So that when all is said and done, I can say I had this many days that it took me to make this sweater. So that's why I know that this sweater took me 14 days worth of knitting to make, because I put the little markers on there. And like this sweater has been on my needles since sometime in the beginning of the year, and but clearly there's not 6 months worth of markers on there because I didn't pick it up every day. Okay, so that's enough blabbering about that. My next whip that has been getting a lot of my attention is my flax. So as I said with this little one here, I am teaching a class. This one I knit up so that I could have a sample to refer to at the beginning of the class, and I am knitting along with the class. I'm a little behind. I should have split for sleeves already. However, due to user error, I knit about 3 inches on this sweater and just completely didn't follow the instructions for those 3 inches, so I had to rip it back. that I did discover that I can just use like my stitch holder cord and a darning needle to run a lifeline, and it made it really easy to just rip back to that point, pop my needles in, and then continue on. So in this pattern, this is a free pattern. It is the Flax by Tin Can Knits. This is the worsted weight version. In the pattern, it tells you if you are, you know, size smallest to extra large, move on to this section where you're going to knit until you have your yoke depth. And everyone in my class is between those sizes. I, however, am not between those sizes. I am in the plus sizes, so I was supposed to do an additional amount of increases. And so when I went to do the short rows for my sweater size, I was following the instructions and I didn't have the right amount of stitches. And so I looked at the pattern, looked at the instruction before, and realized that I just completely omitted that. So, you know, we all make mistakes. It's absolutely fine. I could have fudged it and just added extra stitches under the arm, but I am trying to teach the people in the class, and I was missing about 20 stitches. So I figured I was teaching the people in the class how to do things right, so I wanted to show them that I make mistakes too. I've been knitting for almost 20 years. I've been knitting sweaters for about, I don't know, 8 years now. No, 6 years. 6 years-ish, I think. 5 or 6. I don't know. I spent a long time not knitting sweaters, and I've only recently started to knit sweaters. But I've made a lot of them. And so I just wanted to show that I make mistakes too. We all make mistakes. It's all part of the learning process. But anyway, this is my flax. It is knit in Fairy Tale Knits Goldilocks Ringlets, which is a Targhee and silk blend of yarn. And this color is called Hello Sweetie. You can't really see much because it's all jumbled up on the needles. And my lighting in here is blowing it out, so, but it's a very lovely, lots of shades of purples and blues, and I can't wait to finish it. I am also going to make this short sleeve, and mine will be cropped because we all know that I love to wear a cropped sweater. So that is living in this really awesome bag that my friend gave me, Amber of Ambi Marie Knits, and I just love it. I have a really, oh, I forgot a whip. I haven't really worked on it, so it's not a big deal. My other friend, Tamara, made me an awesome bag also. I got them in the mail at the same time, that's why it reminded me of it. My haiku cardi is living in that one, but I haven't really picked that one up. All right, and so then I just have one more whip that I have been working on. Well, I'm kind of cruising through these. I guess maybe I don't have so much. This is in a bag by me. Nope, the other one's sold. So I was going to say I have some Halloween ones. I have one that's got some pink pumpkins, but this bag has sold. This is my Voyage Cardigan by Woolen Pine, and this is knit in mostly here in colors Dyeworks minis, and a little bit of knitted wit and a little bit of Fahrenheit Zitron. That's my main color here, which I am throwing in the mix as well. So let's see, this is the front. So this has the steek section. And I'm just in love with this sweater. It doesn't get enough of my attention because it's not just stockinette, and so that's why Bobby's cardigan and mine have gotten a little more because they're just stockinette. This is color work. I just recently picked it back up because I was putting it off because I needed to do the sleeve split. It's technically, because it gets steeked, even the sleeves get steeked, and then you pick up and you knit those in. So I had it on hold for a while because I was avoiding doing that part, but now it is done. And so once I get bobbies out of the way, this will probably get a lot of my attention. This is going to be a cropped cardigan. I think I've got about 13 inches here, which will fit me really nicely and fall just above my hips, which is where I like my sweaters to be. But it's just gorgeous. I just love it. All of these colors, they're just, it brings me a lot of joy to work on it. I know that they say not to weave in all of the ends because they're just going to get steeked, but I have decided to weave them in. So if you look down here at the bottom of that steek section, I have woven them in. Up here I have not woven them in yet, and it just looks, I don't know, it looks a little sloppy to me. So I like the way it looks better woven in. So I am doing that. Hopefully I'll have this done before the fall so I can just wear it all cold season long. I do keep it chilly in here, so I'll probably be able to start wearing sweaters and working in here probably rather soonish. So that's all my whips. I've got a little bit of spinning that I can show you. I was gifted some gorgeous fiber. I will pop in a picture of the fiber. Oh, let me show you this. These are some FOs also that I missed. Yeah, and then I'll show you the fiber, and then I'll pop in a picture after that. So this is their rope bowls that I have been using all of the scraps of fabric. When I make my project bags, I have been just making these. So there's rope in there, and then, so you can see at the top here, this is just the regular rope. It's just like cotton clothesline. And then I have strips of fabric that I wrap around, and then you just zigzag stitch those together. I got this idea from Aquila of A Lefty Knitter. She had showed this type of bowl on one of her episodes, and I thought that was perfect because whenever I make the project bags, you cut out the corner squares and then you cut off the sleevage edge, and you know, there's just all of this fabric that gets cut off, and I have a hard time throwing it away because it's got cute prints, and I always thought, oh, maybe someday I can sew it all together and do something. Well, I have that someday now. So I've been utilizing all of the scraps from my project bag sewing. So, I mean, how cool are these? This one is my favorite. I love this one. So these ones, I kind of just put them all random, right? And then I was looking up different ways to finish the edgings here on YouTube videos, and I saw that one person just sewed all of the same color together, and then just, you know, I just love it. I love it so much. This kind of lives in my shop. My chickens kind of sit in here, my little chickens, not my big chicken. The big chicken sits next to it. They are for sale, but not on my website. If somebody were to purchase them, I do have a price in mind where I would sell them. But they do take a lot of work to do this, and a lot of thread. But it's just a super fun way to use up all of those ends of fabric that would otherwise go in the garbage. I have a hard time throwing away yarn ends and fabric, apparently, because it's so pretty. I just love it. So that was also an FO. It was a sewing FO. Okay, so now I will show you my spinning. In this bag lives the gorgeous fiber that I was gifted. I have it all pre-drafted in here now. It came in a braid, and I split it all, and then I pre-drafted into smaller little more manageable bumps for me to use. So that way I'm not pulling. I am not advanced enough to just spin from the braid and draft at the same time. So I pre-draft, like I separate my braid into smaller ones, because this I can manage to pre-draft. I can pre-draft and spin from this size roving rather than a big fat braid. Maybe someday I'll grow up and have those advanced skills. But in the meantime, it is just living on my, it's attached to my spinning wheel, which is an electric eel wheel, the 6, I think, and so you can see, let's see, how about I just unplug these? There we go. So you can see that beautiful bobbin. And I'm just having a really nice time spinning that. This was fiber that was gifted to me from a couple of my friends. They went to Black Sheep gathering, and I could not go this year. It was their 50th anniversary, and I was super bummed because I saw that a girl with a hook was going to be there, and she had this awesome fiber. She also sells hand spun. I'll have everything linked down below, but just these colors, they just called to me. They're just so gorgeous. I don't know how I'm going to ply this yet, but you'll see eventually. I'll decide eventually. I'm leaning towards maybe doing a chain ply, but we shall see. So everything else I have is kind of just like shop news and life stuff. So if you were only here for the yarn and projects, thanks for hanging out. And if you want to hear more about the shop and what's going on there, then stick around. So I have to move some things so that I can have access to things. I have been sewing project bags, and I may have mentioned it before, but these are just a couple of them. I have been making sweater size project bags, and these are stuffed with paper just so they can sit on the shelf all nice. This is a sugar skull one, and they have a really nice webbing handle here, a fun little rainbow zipper, lovely fabric change on the inside, and this will hold about 20 skeins of vintage DK, FYI. Not that you necessarily need to put that much in there, but I, being a sweater maker, like to have room for my whole sweater and my extra yarn and a notions bag, and not many bags have that room. As you can see with this one here, this is Bobby's sweater. His sweater is shoved in here. The extra yarn is not even in here. It's just the yarn that I'm working on is in here. So my extra skeins don't get to live with the project. They are in a basket at home. So this is a decent sized bag, and maybe if you didn't have to knit plus size sweaters, it might work for you, but I have to knit plus size sweaters. So I like to have a big bag, which is why I made these ones. It takes a full yard of fabric to make one of these bags, so you got a lot of room. I have been playing around with making pockets. None of the ones that I currently have pockets. It's just something that I have been toying with. So we will see. It will add a little bit to the cost, I think, though, because pockets are more fabric. Anyway, you can find these on the naughtyknittress.com. You can look under the What's New tab and it'll be there, or you can just search Project Bag and it should pop up. There also may be a little tab that just says like notions, potions, and lotions. It'd probably be under there also. So that's some new things in the shop. The other thing that I have new in the shop, I have been making a ton of stitch markers, and I will show you some of them. So I did recently some Beetlejuice themed stitch markers. So you can find those on the website under the Stitch Marker tab, or you can search up Beetlejuice and you should be able to find them. So I just really, really love the way they turned out. They are on sparkly black acrylic, and all of these have the lever back fixtures because these are good for knitters and crocheters. You can use them as progress keepers or as stitch markers, and that's my favorite. So you can find those ones. Also, I did this cute little set. It's a little tombstone and a coffin because I just thought it was cute, and it's on this little gray. It's technically supposed to be glitter, but it really looks like stone to me. And then I had a friend ask me if I could make an Oregon set because she is traveling to a retreat overseas and she wanted to gift the host something special from our little town. So I did up this little set here, and it comes on the little holder, and it's Roseburg, Oregon, and we've got some lovely little markers. We have a little rose and a burger for Roseburg. We've got a little Oregon stitch marker, a log truck because we are a timber town, and a Douglas fir, as well as Crater Lake because it's right up the road. And then our two little yarn stores are featured, so Little Hawk Yarns and the Naughty Knittress. So these are available in the shop now because I thought, how fun is it to just have like a little local set for somebody who pops in out of town and wants something, you know, to represent this little place that they visited. Because we do have a little gem of a town here. A lot of people that are from here or have lived here a long time, sometimes they can't notice the beauty that we are surrounded by. We have so many waterfalls. We have like Diamond Lake just up the road, and then Crater Lake, and it's just, there's so much gorgeous nature here. It's such a cute little town. And so then I was inspired by another friend asked if I could make some Lord of the Rings themed stitch markers. So I did this little set here. It comes on a door, like the Hobbit door, and then we've got the Horn of Gondor, some elven bread, we've got Gollum, and then this is the door that was on the dwarf mountain. There's that fairy necklace, and then that sword. I am awful. I can't remember the names of the things. I know what they are, but I'm not the best at the names, so don't come at me for not being a true fangirl. I do watch Lord of the Rings with my husband every year. We watch all of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, usually in the fall. We'll take like a weekend and we'll just watch them all. But I'm the worst at remembering the detailed names of things. But there's the ring. They're just cute. I also have not, these are available in the shop, both of these sets. I haven't done this one just yet. Now this is a pre-draft, so it's on draft board. This is not like the finished design, hence why it looks a little charred. But I just thought these cute little spiders, and they have different, instead of like a Black Widow mark, you know, the hourglass, I just put fun Halloween. So there's a jack-o'-lantern and a witch's hat and a bat and a cauldron and a ghost and a skull and some moons, like instead of a Black Widow hourglass. I just thought that that was a fun idea. So these will be available in the shop probably later sometime in August, because I'm still working out. I'm not extremely happy with how the charring looks. Like you don't see the detail quite enough. So I think I need to go through and make those a little bigger. I don't know. We'll see. But that is new. I don't remember if I showed you guys, but I do now have these awesome dragon yarn bowls in the shop. They're just super cool. These became super popular from, I think it's My Knotted Yarn Balls. I think that's who it is. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself and I'll have her link below. She does so many amazing yarn bowls, but this one in particular that she also does was designed after, there is a 3D designer that I follow and I am a patron of them. They are called IK3D, and this dragon was initially his design. This fits one skein of yarn, 100 grams, just fine. And being as most of the yarn I sell in here is all 100 grams, I figured that that would be the size that I would stick with. And yeah, so those are available in the shop. I have printed a couple of the yarn cauldrons that I had last year. And I did design them now with a little spoon so that you can take the lid off and on and then kind of stir your cauldron. Somebody gave me that idea. I don't remember who it was, but thank you. When I initially showed this the first time, I credited whoever gave me that idea. But it's just super cute. I've got a couple of these in the store. They are listed on the website as made to order. So you can pick your color of your potion and you can select whether or not you want to have a handle, because the handle has to be super glued on. Because it's a different color. It ships a little awkwardly. So those are in the shop, available now, and we've got lots of new yarn in. We've got some Woobles kits, as you can see behind me here, and then we've got this side. I really am awkward. I'm looking at my screen and it's mirrored imaged and I get confused. So we've got some unicorns and some foxes and some narwhals. Those are super good if you want to learn how to crochet. All of the instructions are via a QR code that comes in there, and they really do break it down very, very one step at a time, tell you what you're looking at and how to kind of read your crochet. So if you are new to crochet and you are wanting to try that, that would be a really good way to learn how to do amigurumi. We've got in some new colors of Here in Colors Dyeworks in. You can check out the shop for those. We've got lots of Cascade yarn in, and I just am enjoying being able to be here and help people, and just we have a Friday night knit group and a Saturday afternoon knit group, and I also have some ladies that come in on Tuesday mornings, which is super fun. Life has been pretty busy. Summer has not calmed down. I thought it would because the kids are out of school. We've got some family stuff going on, and so we're all kind of so not nuclear family, but extended family. So like my sisters and brother, my sister and brother, and my mom and dad and stuff. We've got some stuff going on. So my kiddos are helping dog sit for my parents' dog, and I have been helping out with that, and it just feels like I've been running nonstop if I'm not here at the store. So I think I'm going to look forward to school starting, so then maybe I can relax. I only have one kiddo in school this year. That feels weird. But Scarlett is my last kiddo in school. She will be in 7th grade, and she is the most extracurricular activity kid there is. She's in band and choir, and she was in orchestra, but I think she's stepping away from orchestra this year. So maybe that will be one less thing that we have to do. My parents are super helpful with helping me juggle, transportation and such, because Bobby and I both have a full-time job, and then I don't want my kids to miss out on, fun things, and so it's super nice to have my parents to lean on. So it's absolutely wonderful that I can be there for them this summer and help out with their dog while they have to go do some other things. So yeah, it's all very vague, but it's personal family stuff that, it's nobody's business but ours. But I mean, it's all good things. And let's see, what else? Yeah, I don't know. There's been a couple of patterns that have been on my want to cast on list, but I really am kind of, it's not monogamous because it's one, monogamous would be one pattern at a time, but I really have just been only working on these 3 whips. Like this one I was working on, but it's done. I've not been working on very many whips, just like 2 or 3 at a time. Pretty much it's been 2. It's been one I have at work that I work on, and then one that's home that I work on, which feels really weird to me because usually I have all of the things that I want to work on at one time. But I think that with everything going on in the yarn store, sorry if you guys can hear that noise. I'm in my store, and above my store is college kids, and they're the wrestling team, and it sounds like they're wrestling upstairs. Either that or moving furniture. Hopefully you can't hear it, but it's rather loud, and it's sidetracking me. I don't know. All that to say is, I'm just kind of happy with life now. I have a Sunday Zoom chat that I really look forward to, which I am going to hop off here and go set up for that because today is Sunday. If you would like to join my Sunday Zoom chat, it is every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daylight Time, whatever time we are, 2 p.m. in the Pacific Northwest. And the link is usually in the description down below, or I have it on my Instagram. And if you can't find it anyplace, just send me a message on Instagram and I will happily link it for you. Yeah, so take life one stitch at a time because that is all you can do.